Hey, you guys, this is your number one Eagles Diva fan, Annette McKinney. So it is Friday the 13th, and I say let's talk about the Eagles game coming up Sunday. So I've been listening to a lot of analysts and everything like that, and of course the Eagles have never lost against the Jets. We're like 12 and 0. So I don't think this Sunday is going to be a Sunday that we are going to start losing. But I'm still not going in there thinking we should be too complacent or anything like that. But I want to know what you guys' thoughts are about the game. I mean, what kind of score you think we're going to have Sunday? And I know that Jalen Carter is supposed to be out, and so is Slay. So I don't think that that's going to be important because I believe that Fletcher Cox is coming back. So I think our defense is going to be okay. And I'm not saying that we might blow them out or anything like that because, like they said, any given Sunday. But I do think we're going to go 6-0 Sunday. Um, Another thing I want to discuss, a lot of people in a lot of different groups are talking about, Jalen Hurts, and we're not really getting our money's worth right now. And I used to think the same way until I started listening to a lot of different commentators and a lot of different analysts. So this is what I say. Those first four games were ugly. When we played against the Rams, that was the only game that I really felt confident that we were going to win, because it seemed like both defenses were garbage. Now, when we play the Commanders, I also thought both defenses played like garbage because that was a high scoring game. So I was kind of worried. And of course, nobody thought we were going to lose that game because when it got down to a couple of seconds and Hal threw the ball and that guy, it was like, what? When it went to overtime. I didn't like that at all. Anyway, let's get down to whatever with Jalen Hurts. Okay, now I understand now that if you don't need more, you don't give more. So, I think the reason why we haven't seen Jalen Hurts like really take off and stuff with his feet that we know he can do is because we don't need it right now. We're gonna need it further down the line when we have bigger fish to fry, like with the Bills, the Chiefs, and the 49ers. Really, the only thing I'm worried about is the 49ers, really, the only team. Because if you've been watching the Chiefs play, they've been winning just like us, barely winning. A W is a W, but they haven't been playing good ball at all. Okay, so they almost lost against the Jets. They did lose against the Lions, and and even with they played the Broncos last night, that was kind of suspect because if the Broncos had not had so many interceptions and different things going on, that game could have went the other way as well. So I think that playing the Chiefs, I'm not really concerned about that. The Bills, they kind of got exposed playing the Jaguars, but they got Coach Peterson, so he's a good coach. Won us the Super Bowl. But anyway, I think the 49ers right now looks like to be the only competition. And as you know, last year we put the 49ers out. Purdy was on his back. So they're talking, oh, the 49ers going to do this, going to do that. They said the same thing last year. It's almost like deja vu. Doesn't it seem like it? Anyway, so I think that Hurts showed a little bit of his running power when we played the Rams, right? When we needed that first down, he got it to us and everything because he, benches, 600 pounds or something? So he's got the legs. And what do you guys think about the brotherly shove? Tush push tush, whatever they call it. We say brotherly shove. How they're trying to ban it or anything. One thing Micah Parsons says, and I can't stand the Cowgirls at all, but one thing he did say is that this is football. Just because they can't do that doesn't mean that you should be banned because it's football. Learn how to do it or do it better, So anyway, that's another story. I think that Jalen Hurts is doing what he's told to do. Don't get out there and take chances early in the season because we need him for the playoffs that we're going to go to. Super Bowl we're going to go to. So right now, if he was running, and a lot of those other defensive players are looking to hurt your quarterback, or something. So I think that right now, if if it's open, run, slide, what you got to do. But we don't need no injuries with Jalen Hurts because if you've seen preseason, Mariota is not it. Okay, the third string quarterback I like. Can't remember his name off the jump, but I like the third string quarterback. Mariota is not what we need right now. So we got a tough schedule coming up. After we beat the Jets, we go 6-0. Then we have Miami, and that's going to be the game. Tua against Hurts. You know what happened back in college, how, Tua had to step up and whatever, get in and everything. So that's going to be a good rivalry type game. So, and it's probably on Prime as well. I think we play that Sunday evening. So, and then we have the Commanders again. Now, the Commanders are going to play us hard, even though they play other teams garbage. They're going to play us hard in Washington. Hopefully, we can repeat that game. We know they're defense is garbage. The only thing in that game I'm concerned about is just containing Hal. As you see, if you bring pressure to him, that's all it takes. You know, really on any quarterback, bring pressure to the quarterback, you got the game. You know, with our quarterback, they can't really bring too much pressure because our front line don't allow it. So, you know, it depends on whatever. So we got a tough schedule. After the Commanders, then we start getting into the 49ers and the Chiefs. The Chiefs, we play November the 20th. That's a Monday night. The Cowgirls, we have November the 5th. So I'm trying to make that game and see, you know, what happens there. Because as you know, Jalen Hurts and Prescott has not met up face to face yet. So that's going to be a very interesting game. I got my money on the Eagles, of course. So one thing my brother told me, Anthony Adams, he's an Eagles fan, and he works for the Eagles and all that stuff, drives the bus for Academy and all that. So he says, when you look at a game, always look for injuries. And I was like, injuries? He's like, yeah, because that's what you want to go into the game, is playing the team who has the most injuries. So this week we go and play in the Jets. We only have Jalen Carter's out, and that's a big disappointment. But is he needed for Sunday? If he has some type of ankle injury, let him get well and do what he got to do, because the following week we play the Dolphins. So we need him for that week. So I'm like kind of like understanding what Sirianni is doing with some of these players. If you don't need him, just like Cox, we thought we was going to need him for the Rams game. We didn't. So that worked out good for us. But that's what I'm thinking about. Just play the players as needed and have your main game, your starters for the bigger fish. Like the 49ers, we need everybody on that game, you know. But I think we'll go 6-0 Sunday. And then I think next week there's a good chance to beat in Miami if they can contain Tyreek Hill, because everybody knows that boy can run, you know. Now, they got a good running game. We got a good running game. I heard that Rashad Penning is coming back. He's off this illness or whatever. What do you guys think about him? I mean, I've only seen him play, I think, once, maybe twice on the field. So I don't know if he's some decoy or something, but not impressed. Okay? So I want you guys to join me here. I'm going to start going live as soon as I get my stuff together so we can have a discussion. You know, I can answer your questions you got from me, and I can ask you guys questions and all that stuff. But if you haven't joined my Facebook group, it is called Sunday Eagles Football with Annette. Okay? And there I stream all the Eagles games, and sometimes a little bit more. Every now and then I'll stream our division rivals games. And if there's a real good game on, there ain't no good game listed to Eagles. But, you know, if there's another pretty decent game on, I'll go ahead and stream that on Thursday. I'll do Prime. Some people don't have Amazon Prime because everything costs these days. And sometimes I do Monday night, which is normally local, but, you know, who knows. So there's other games that I do. So join my group if you want to have a good time. Because when we stream the Eagles game, we got music, intermission, we have a good time, and you know, it's really fun. It's not for the weak, okay? It's only for the strong people, because we do cussing and, you know, everything else. With the Eagles fan, you have to cuss. You know, I don't know any Eagles fan who don't cuss. Don't exist. So I think that we look good this year. Back-to-back 5-0, going in 6-0. Isn't it ironic that when we play the Commanders, that'll be our 8th game? And if you remember last year, they're the ones who put us out after the 8th game. They broke our winning streak. I don't think they're going to do it this year. But it seems like a lot of repeat stuff is going on, doesn't it? I mean, it seems strange, like deja vu. We're here, you know, here we are. I think that the main game I want us to win is against the Chiefs, because to me, even though it doesn't show in the records that we beat them during the Super Bowl, we know how that was. And we should have been playing the Bengals, because the Bengals got a bad rap with the Chiefs, because if you've watched that game, the Bengals basically won that game, but with all the bad calling from the refs and giving stuff priority to the Chiefs, that's how the Chiefs end up even going to the Super Bowl. It should have been the Bengals, and we would have won, beat the Bengals anyway. So another thing that I had on my mind is the quarterbacks getting paid. Now, I'm all about people getting their money, okay, because I like my money. But Jalen Hurts stood out, and when he signed his contract, he was the number one quarterback with the highest pay. Lamar Jackson, I'm not hating on him. He stood out longer and said, hey, let's see what we're going to pay Jalen Hurts. So once Jalen Hurts got paid, he was like, okay, now I need to be paid more than him, because I've been in the NFL longer. So pay me more money. My record is better. Whatever his argument was, he got more money than Jalen Hurts. Okay, a little bit more. Then what do? They go pay Herbert from the Chargers more money than both of them. And I don't understand that when Herbert didn't get them to the Super Bowl last year. I got my speculation of why they did that. I ain't gonna say on here because I keep that to myself. But it's just some strange things happening with the money. Now, I expect the Chargers to beat the Cowgirls on Monday night, okay? Because Justin Herbert, you need to get out there and do your thing. And you got paid all this money. I expect you guys to get a win under the Cowgirls, who are very, very bad right now. And they're under a lot of distress because, and pressure. Prescott cannot afford to throw a pick Monday night because his name is already garbage. Okay. The defense has lost Diggs, and I think they lost their tight end. Is it Van somebody? I'm not sure exactly his name, but I went back and watched. They got a few people that are out, so that's not going to help them Monday. I haven't really been following the Chargers enough to know how well they're playing this year, but they're not undefeated, you know. I think that when we play Miami, it's going to be good. The Commanders are going to be tough because they're going to want revenge, of course, and we'll be in their territory, which doesn't mean anything because the Eagles travel, and you're only going from Philly to Washington, so there's going to be a lot of Eagles fans, probably more than Commander fans. So I'm not really worried about the fan base. So, what do you guys think? I think we will go 6-0. I'm not going to say easily, but we should go 6-0. Next week on Miami, that's iffy. It can be done. You know, it's not like, you know, I'm not saying because we have an undefeated record, that's why we're going to win, because that means nothing. You know, when you play certain teams, you're undefeated to a certain amount until you get to a team that beats you. So I'm not saying we're going to beat Miami just because we're undefeated. I'm saying that we have the weapons to do it. You know, they have some weapons, and Tua has definitely been playing better football this year. So he's getting the ball where it needs to go. So defense needs to step up. My main concern is defense. I don't think our defense is solid enough yet. On paper they are, but out on the field, our secondary needs to be cleaned up. Our corners, I know Slay is out also Sunday. So I'm concerned because a few years back, it seems like every year a team finds our weak spot in the back. They know that we can get burnt. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but you should if you're an Eagles fan, when we played the Cowgirls and Minshew was a quarterback last year, and we was like, we had already beat them in Philadelphia. We was playing in Texas now. And you remember when Prescott threw that, it was like 3rd and 20-something or 3rd and 30-something, whatever it was. We was like, I don't know if you was, but I was like, ain't no way somebody's going to catch that. You know, it's just, you know, that play, we got burnt in the back so bad. I don't know who it was, Brad. I don't know who was back there, but they allowed that pass to be caught. That was the game killer. That was the game right there because that's how they won that game. Had that 3rd and something didn't work and they had to go on 4th down, we get the ball back, we win, you know? So that was very disappointing that that game didn't get won. We would have swept them last year. So hopefully when they play in Philly on November the 5th that we do beat them at home because, you know, the Eagles got to know ain't no way they're going to be able to show their face around us if we don't take care of them at home this year. So anyway, I just want to come on here and do some updates with you guys. I'm going to try to get my site up and going, you know, doing some videos all the time. I will be doing a video after the Eagles game, and we're going to discuss what we saw. Hopefully we're celebrating Sunday 6-0 because my thing is rack up all the wins you can. You know, I don't care how ugly they are, and they've been ugly, but they are a W, you know? So, because that's how you get into the playoffs is with the wins. And beating the Commanders, that being that game was important because it was a division game. So, you know, we got a little cushion right now in front of the other teams in our division. Giants, garbage. They're going to be garbage. They're going to get slaughtered by the Bills Sunday. The Commanders, I don't remember who they play. And I know the Cowgirls play Monday. They play the Chargers. So, you know, we're the better team. I think we'll get back-to-back. We'll be the first team in a long time to go back-to-back winning the division because it hasn't happened in years. So hopefully the Eagles can go ahead and take care of that. But, hey, we're winning. So we could be complaining and could be mad and losing. So, you know, let's just give our team a little bit of whatever, including me, because I was hard on him the first couple of games, and I was at the game in Minnesota. We played Minnesota at home. I was at that game. and very nerving, because I didn't leave until the last second because, you know, it wasn't like in the bag. Even towards the last couple of minutes, it's like, what? Do you let them come back on us? So we are fourth quarter players for some reason. It's like we can't keep a lead. We always got to come back from the rear. I want to sit back and watch one game. I always tell my group when the people come in, let's just sit back and watch one game where we can be like, okay, we got this. I want to see Mariota on the field because that's when I know we got it, because we had to send our second string quarterback in, not because Jalen is hurt, but we haven't came across that game yet, So some of the analysts say we got a big, stretch down there, and we do. But when you look at the teams we're playing, other than the 49ers, who's playing really good football? It is not the Chiefs. Mahomes this, but Mahomes is not playing his best. The Chiefs are not playing their best. So hopefully between now and the time we have to run into the 49ers, into the Chiefs, into the Bills and all that injuries, and not on our side but on their side, because the more injuries, like their main people that are out, is kind of like easier to win the game. And people can say, oh, we don't care who plays, we're gonna beat them. Not necessarily. I'm like, injuries, like my brother said, look for injuries. So we can get an easy W, get it. So because at the end of the day, nobody cares what happened during the game, what happens after the game, or whatever. Is what happens, when that score is fourth quarter and double zeros. You got a W or L, okay? Most likely you want a W, because having an L and with a little bit of respect, it's like, yeah, you guys played a good game, but you lost. I'd rather say you guys played lousy, but hey, you squeeze it out some kind of way. I'd rather be saying that than the other, okay? So we're good. And I have to calm myself down because I'm like, I used to be on WIP all the time when Angelo was there. Since he retired, I haven't been on there. And I used to be on there almost every game after the Eagles game, with my voicing my opinion. So that's what I'm going to be doing here a lot, is voicing my opinion, because I've been a diehard Eagle fan for over 30 years. So, and if you're a diehard Eagle fan, it's just like you get so angry on Sunday or Thursday or Monday, whatever day we're playing, So I'm going to try to calm my nerves because I think we got it. Every week we're getting better. AJ Brown is going off, which is good. Whatever him and Jalen did is working. We got to get Goddard a little bit more involved. I hope this doesn't become an issue with Smith and Brown. Like, okay, Brown's getting the ball all the time, and Smith, there ain't so much you can do with the ball. Everybody need to touch the ball. I know they want to touch the ball. Everybody want their stats to go up. That's understandable. But as a team, we want the W. But as players, they want their respect, and I can understand that. So that's between the coordinators. We got new defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators. So it's a lot that the Eagles are dealing with this year. So we got to give them a little slack. I know behind the scenes in the locker room, there's more to the going on than what we know. But it seems like everybody's coming together, and that's the main thing. Come together. I think that we played a well-balanced game with the Rams and with the Commanders here and there. Jalen Hurts, got everybody involved. And one good thing is that when our running game gets shut down, which it hasn't really got too shut down this year, but when it does get shut down, it may eventually, our passing game is pretty good. Now, I haven't been 100% pleased with Hurts' passing game this year. It seems like some of those other quarterbacks I've seen, like Purdy and Howell and Mahomes, some of them can really thread that needle. I mean, it's like, boom. Even with Stafford, it was like, right, you throw it to your tight end, the tight end's got it. You throw it here. I mean, they're like been very good, accurate. And sometimes Hurts throws, the person's wide open and he is too high, too low, and it's hard for the person to catch the ball. So he's got to clean that up. He did good last year. Now this year, on that passing, I'm not too thrilled with. But because there's a few games, other guy who was that in the back? Watkins, I don't know who it was, but somebody on one of the last games, like, hey, I'm back here. He's in the end zone and he throws it to Brown and got intercepted. So I know under pressure, sitting at home on my couch, I can say, hey, do this and do that. I'm not on the field, so it looks easier as we're sitting at home than it probably is on that field. So I cut them some slack because at the end of the day, we're getting the W, and that is all that counts. So you guys leave your comments, subscribe, and I'm not just your ordinary girl that's on here. There's not, I really watch football. But see, what I do is I keep track of who we got next. Like I'll be watching after our game. I'll be watching to see what happened during Miami's game because we got Miami after the Jets. So we want to look for did anybody get injured? Um, you know, what happened with that game? Did they win? Did they lose? So those are things you look for. And after I'm watching Miami, I'm also be watching the Commanders again. Seeing and hearing who's out. On that game because we got them in a couple more weeks. So I don't know about you, but I look ahead of the schedule as well. So I'm not gonna get so complacent. My dad, he's a Giants fan. Mm. But he seems to think that everybody says there's a trap game. Oh, you got with the Jets, that's probably a trap game. What is a trap game? Either you're gonna win or you're gonna lose. I don't really believe in that trap stuff because so when you lose, somebody said, "Yeah, I told you," because everybody thinks you're not gonna go undefeated. So it's got to be a trap game somewhere, and it's not. It's gonna be against a team that you should win against. I don't necessarily always believe that. I think that what happens with those games like that, when you go in and play a team that's like, say, the Panthers, they're 0-5. If we were to play the Panthers and they was to beat us, that would not be considered a trap game to me. That would be a game that they did their homework and came prepared. And we was like, they're 0-5, ain't no way they're gonna beat us. With that mentality, that's how you get yourself trapped into those games. It's not the game; it's a trap itself. So that's just my opinion on those trap games. So, like I said, subscribe to my channel, and also my group on Facebook is Sunday Eagles Football with Annette. Trust me, you will like it. I stream the game, but I commentate through the whole game. So I like to talk. Not just me. I mean, I'm the only one talking that you can hear, but everybody else is putting their comments on, and we'll do whatever. We have music, we have a good time, and it's just fun, and it's different. So I like to be different. Anyway, I'll be back here maybe tomorrow and just find out what I can find out throughout the internet and and read online of who's got what going on and everything. The pressure is not on us. I think that right now, just like last year, everybody's like, who can beat the Eagles? And that is the point that everybody's trying to make is we're better than the Eagles. See, if we lose, it'd be one game. Everybody's lost other than the 49ers. So what's the big deal? The big deal is that team has bragging rights like we are the ones who took the Eagles down. It makes their reputation better. Ours goes whatever. So whoever beats us, and if it's a sorry team like the Jets, it's going to be like, oh, are the Eagles really the Eagles? You got to go back and hear that crap. That's why if we lose, and not saying that we will, down the line, we might go 17-0, who knows? But just say we don't. Now, we lose against the 49ers. They're going to say the 49ers is the best team in the NFL, and the Eagles are second, okay? If we beat Miami, they're going to say the Eagles are the best, they got the best, this got the best, that. It's only till you lose they start talking crazy. So you can't really listen to the analysts and everything like that, but that's normally how it goes. Right now, there's like, oh, nobody can do the brotherly shove but the Eagles and all that. So let one time the brotherly shove don't work, oh, you're going to hear it. So and that's the beast, the nature of the beast. When we play those sports, that's what you're gonna hear. And so we gotta be prepared because it's coming. We on Facebook now and social media. We can brag and talk junk. We undefeated. Will it last? If it doesn't last, I hope if we get beat, and it's a big if, it's by a reputable team with some type of reputation. We can't get in there and get beat by the Jets. Okay, we can't get in there and get beat by. Let me see. Who else is left? The Giants. We played the Giants in December back to back pretty much. We played them, both games were in December. Arizona, I believe, is our last game. If not, it's second to last. And even though they said this goes Arizona beat the Cowgirls, don't mean they're going to beat us. I hate when they compare the Eagles to the Cowgirls. It's like last year. They was like, when the 49ers took the Cowboys out the playoffs, they was like, okay, Eagles, they got the 49ers. Guess they just lost against, the Cowboys just lost against the 49ers. The Eagles are going to lose. Don't compare us to the Cowgirls. We are not them. They're not us. So we see what happened. We took Purdy out. They was like, oh, Purdy never been this. He never been that. He was sacked. He got injured. I mean, we did everything. Riddick just took him out. And that's another thing. Riddick showed up last game against the Rams with a sack, with staff and everything, the pressure, the blitz. So lovely. Good thing he's back. He's, whatever injury he had, he's back. And that was a force to be reckoned with last year. He was on it. So hopefully he does the same thing Sunday, like I said, but um, if we are leading that game, and I hope that we lead throughout the whole 4 quarters, that we can give some of our guys some breaks and some rest, then that's what we need to do. One good thing about the Rams, even though they had Kittle and it seemed like he was catching everything, we were able to have the ball a longer possession that game, so that allowed our defense to rest. Because I don't care how good your defense is, no, none of those big guys going to be on that field for 10, 15 minutes at a time. So longer you can, that's why I say run the ball, because when you run the ball getting first downs, your defense is resting, and that's on either side, but we prefer it to be our side. Because while their defense is getting drugged out there and trying to chase, AJ Brown and Swift and all, it's like they're getting tired. While our defense is sitting back, hey, relaxing. So when they got there, they're fresh, and then if they can get 3 and outs, then once again, you got a tired defense going right back out there. And everybody knows that's elementary. That's the thing. That's the key. Ball possession. 3 and outs for us is not going to work. So the Jets is going to give it all they got Sunday. And and we can't go in there and be like, oh, we got this game. And I'm sure that's not their mentality, because we know anything can happen. I just want them to go in there and get the W, come back so we can prepare for Miami. And I think the Miami game is at home. But I got to go back and look at the schedule. So that's my rant for today, Friday the 13th. So subscribe to my channel, because when I start going live, we can interact and everything. We're going to have a good time with all the updates and everything. Like I said, I got connections. I'm from Jersey, so I plan on being in Philadelphia more often. So hopefully we'll be on Broad Street in February in that parade. Don't you guys want another ring? Let me tell you, they used to say we were angry and all that stuff, but I've calmed down since we got that ring. But 2018 is 5 years ago. It's time for another ring. So and then let me tell you, after last year's Super Bowl, I did not watch any football coverage for until May, or close to the time of the draft. I was so distraught because that game should have been won. We had the game. How do you lose a game and you're winning all 3 quarters? I was like, ain't no way. We had a Super Bowl party at our house, and we was like, oh, this is like deja vu. We can ready to party. I was like, that game hurt me so bad. I did not watch any coverage, didn't want to listen to it or anything. And I didn't even log onto the internet that much until the draft came. I was so hurt by that game. It's something to go to the Super Bowl and be that close to winning, because it ain't like you get back there every year, So we got a good squad this year. I think we're going to do it. We can do it. I do not want to see Kansas City go back to the Super Bowl, not even with us. I'm sick of them. Mahomes he's corny. I'm just sick of them. I like to be a Super Bowl with the Eagles, and maybe they thought it was gonna be the Eagles and the Bills, or I don't know what AFC team I really want to see, but I just don't want to see, or even Miami. I just don't want to see Andy Reid again. Just like, you got a couple rings, go on about your business. Let somebody else get some rings. And the Cowgirls, So I'm gonna talk about the Cowgirls in the next video. I'm gonna have some more stuff to talk about with them. Prescott, he's already thrown, I think, 3 or 4 interceptions this year, so we got plenty more football to go. And he said he would not throw 11. No, you might throw 12 or 13. Anyway, it's been good talking to you. Remember, I'm your girl, Annette McKinney, your #1 diva. So, Eagles fan, let's come back here maybe tomorrow and talk about some more Eagles football and what's going around the league and stuff. So you guys, fly Eagles, fly. EAGLES. Egos.